Hello, everybody. We are live. We're doing it again. 15.5. My name is Daryl. I am the CMO here at Agorapulse. I love these sessions. These are brand new. If you're just following along, you've never seen them before, not to worry. 15.5 in a nutshell is something we do. We do one a week. So we do like 4 a month. And every week, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4 is actually a different theme. And today's theme, and these are recurring themes. So like last week, you would have heard me riff about what's going on, things that are hot and heavy for me. We're talking about APIs and Reddit and Twitter. We're talking about new Twitter competitors. We were just having lots of fun. You've talked before. We talked about the week before that. We did the tech stack. So what are the big tech stacks out there, and why do we do them, and what's happening, and what's compelling, what's a competitive advantage piece of technology, all those kind of conversations. And then before that, we do what we call T3, which is tech, trends, and topical issues. I could be wrong. We've only done one episode, so it's not top of mind native, but you get the idea. So there we go. This one, premiere version of Inside the Machine. And if you love data, if you're an analytic person, if you're like, the modern marketer where it's all about the data and experimenting, you're going to love this. Inside the Machine. And just to recap the format, 15.5, 15 minutes. We're going to go at it. We're going to have some conversations, 5 minutes of Q&A. So maximum 20 minutes, we're out of here. All right. So that's the scoop. Now you're looking at me saying, Daryl, that sounds interesting. I'm there, but you're ugly and I don't want to talk to you. That's okay. I've got my partner in crime here, Miss Teresa Anderson. Teresa, how are you doing?
I'm doing awesome, Daryl. I am so excited about this. We are going to show some data that's never been seen before. That is super exciting, especially if you love data.
Never been seen before. Okay. And now you've heard, if you're a repeat attendee here of our events, then you will have heard me mention Teresa. You have heard me mention Rui. Teresa is the one half of Teresa and Rui. They are the ones who put this together. This is their brainchild. This is their content. I'm just the pretty face. Clearly the budget is low because we can't afford a very pretty face. Okay. So I'm going to have some fun. Let's pull up the deck here and we'll get right into it because we've only got 15 minutes to do this, to get in the raw content. Now, just so you understand the roles, I'm the agitator. I'm the guy that asks the hard questions. Teresa's actually the smart one who has all the insights and answers. You see what I just did there? Yeah. I put all the pressure on her. Isn't that good? That's good. All right. So let me see if I can make this technology here work. Teresa, before we get into it, did you want to say anything to set the stage? By the way, I forgot to mention, throw your comments down there. We want to see them. So give us your comments, Doug. Fresh data. Looking forward to this. Fantastic. Glad you're here in layman's terms. Teresa, what's the setup on today's data that we're looking at?
Yeah, this is so super exciting. So we have an incredible data team at Agorapulse. So shout out to that entire team because what they created for us is a marketer's dream. So we are in the enviable position that we are marketing a marketing tool to marketers. And so how great that I can have all this marketing data, this real life social media data is available at my fingertips. If I can dream it up, I can grab it. And that's exactly what we did here. We went into this beautiful dashboard that the data team has created for us. And I was able to be very, very specific by country, by language, by platform, and really find some nuggets in there that I think our audience is going to be, if they're going to be as shocked and surprised and interested in what we revealed in looking at that data. So it's an exciting thing. Yeah.
All right. I'm glad to see I'm not the only Canadian here. Anthony coming in from Toronto. Good to have you on the show, folks, here. All right, let's get going. So the first set of data we have here, and I'm going to set the stage a little bit, all right? So Teresa said it's data we've never seen before. So where did the data come from? Mm-hmm. The data you're going to see today, because we're going to show you two different data sources. This data we're showing you comes from the Agorapulse platform. We talked about the data scientists. We have over 30,000 users hammering the system every single day. What are those 30,000 users using? And by the way, I'll mention to you that we are a global organization because everybody asks me, well, where's the data context? All right, half our revenue is in Europe, in Western Europe, half our revenue is in English-speaking regions. That's the first part. We are fairly split between B2B and B2C. Maybe a little more B2B than we are B2C, but you get the idea. So there's the context, all right? And if you have more questions about the data, don't be shy to ask us those questions.
And it's from this year, Daryl. I should have said that. This is all data from this year.
2023 data. What do we look at? This one is platform use. So what's the key point we want to talk about here on platform use?
Right. What are people doing? Where are they? And globally, and then I wanted to pull out agencies too, because our agency users are definitely power users of Agorapulse, and they're in there representing their clients. What are they doing on behalf of their clients? So there was actually a pretty strong similarities here between globally, what all of our industries combined were doing, where they were making their posts. Facebook, I mean, I was shocked by this, that Facebook is still so strong for posting. 49%. Agencies were super similar. Like, these numbers were very aligned. But the numbers for YouTube and TikTok were so low, they didn't even rank, right around 1%. So the big shocker here is where they are, not where I thought they would be, globally or for agencies.
So let's talk a little about this one, right? Yeah. So we talk about globally, we talk about agencies. People may be wondering what we mean by when we say agencies. When we say agencies, we're talking about sales and marketing agencies. They're probably more marketing agencies than they are sales agencies, maybe a 2-to-1 split. But these are organizations that have been retained by other businesses to act on their behalf, all right? So they're providing services. It could be content creation. It could give demand generation. It could be appointment setting. Or in this case, it's social media, which makes sense because the agency may make a piece of content, then they want to distribute it via social media. All right. So we look at all industries. That could be B2B, B2C. It could be manufacturing. It could be higher education. It could be, food and beverage. The list goes on. So what you're seeing here is interesting, is every single B2B person I know right now looking at this is saying the following: Teresa, why is LinkedIn only at 11%? It's the #1 channel for B2B, hands down. Facebook doesn't even make a dent.
Yeah, it is shocking. Like I said, the numbers here blew my mind. The fact that Facebook is still such a contender and still so on everyone's to-do list every day. This shocked me. Why LinkedIn? And I was also kind of like, why not TikTok and YouTube? All we've heard this year, Daryl, we predicted in our trends webinar that we did at the end of last year, video is everything. It's on the rise. Everybody's talking about TikTok. Everybody's talking about short form video, and they were hovering around 1% for posting.
All right. So the #1 thing I'm hearing from people is that Instagram is just getting more and more on fire, even for B2B. So if you're looking at this right now, if you're a B2C player, you're looking at this going, yeah, this probably makes sense. Facebook is #1. I can really heavily target people. Instagram also makes sense. If you're a B2B player, you're going, I'm confused. And I would suggest to you, it might be time to break outside of your LinkedIn bubble. Do some experimenting on Instagram, do some experimenting on Facebook. And in fact, one of the comments I heard at a recent CMO event I was at, hosted by GTM Partners in Toronto, where they said Twitter doesn't have a lot going on for advertising right now, but if you advertise to them, they're getting great results because Twitter is all about putting your ad front and center because they're so desperate to have success stories. So maybe you should make a play there. So because look at Twitter is even higher than LinkedIn. But I totally agree with you. Everybody's talking about, video, viral video, TikTok, YouTube, Shorts, even on Instagram, it's Reels, 1% for both groups. You know what this says, folks? This doesn't mean that it's not working. What it means is it's still early days and you need to get in. All right, so I'm going to move on because we only have 15 minutes here. All right, so here we go. Next one. This is not our data.
Yes.
This is data we took from the Social Media Marketing World Conference that took place in March in San Diego, and they did their own study. And I don't always agree with their data. Now, they did not give us any kind of context like I did around our data points. All right. So I don't know their mix of B2B to B2C. I know the actual event is much more solopreneur, individual creative, individual consultant, probably more B2C, probably more services centric versus product centric, just based on those who attend. But this is their data. So what we see here, we see LinkedIn almost tied with Facebook. But here's the thing. The caveat is which platform generates the most leads. You want to talk about that, Teresa?
Yeah, well, I found this data point obviously very surprising. And here's what I think is going on here. I think this is cognitive dissonance. The reality is that they were asked here personal opinion, not pulling data like we're pulling from the platform. Our data is objective. That is actually what's happening in the platform. That's what people are doing. I think here you've got a bunch of people self-reporting as to what they think generates the most leads. So I think that you have to definitely take this with a grain of salt that people think Facebook is generating leads. They think LinkedIn is generating leads. It's interesting because it is the anecdotal belief system of the people that were in that, participated in the survey, but not based on hard actual posting data.
All right, lots of comments here, lots of questions coming in here. So I love the comment here from Aaron about surprising to see Twitter doing so well. That was in the previous slide. Give a shout out, of course, to Jen, to Elihu, to Anthony. Again, we're getting lots of great comments in here. They want to know about how does this compare year over year. They want to know if this is organic data or paid ads. And in this case, my understanding, this particular data you're looking at here is both. What I can tell you, though, is the previous slide, it was organic. All right. So 100% organic, because everybody always says, well, it makes sense on paid, but no, organic is just as hot. So, and that would make sense on LinkedIn too, if you see this case here. So there's that. All right. So let's go on to the next set of slides here, because we have about 3.5 minutes left. Data engagement. All right. Ranked by engagement. So engagement in this case would be likes, follows, shares, comments, I assume, Teresa?
Yes. Yes.
All right.
I mean, this is, again, if your jaw is not on the floor here, I don't know what to say. Like, this is the actual data points. This is not subject to anyone's opinion. This is the actual facts pulled from the platform. You can see that video engagement, because we assume that TikTok and YouTube is video engagement. And it is, top of the, if you're an agency posting on behalf of others, or if you're posting on behalf of your business in a list of 10 different industries, TikTok is killing it for engagement. I thought it was interesting that agencies specifically were getting more engagement on Facebook versus YouTube. I thought that was interesting. I was trying to figure out why that might be the case, but really TikTok and YouTube, 1% in the previous data point, top engagement in this data point.
And this is interesting because I'm looking at Jen's comment here. She says she's shocked about Twitter too. We don't see our Twitter content perform so well. And I think if you look at it from an engagement point of view, Jen, you are spot on correct. So it doesn't perform well. But what's interesting, going back to that original slide, right? 1% on TikTok and YouTube. Right. Yeah, look what we've got going on here. We've got TikTok #1 across both when it comes to engagement. Right. So I think what you're saying here is TikTok is definitely absolutely an awareness play. Engagement, visibility. It may not be a paid ad play just yet. So that's really kind of interesting. The other part is, I love Aaron's comment about the quantity is less on LinkedIn, but the lead results are higher, which is another thing you got to think about is the quality of the leads you're getting. Remember, quality often trumps quantity. All right. So it may be low, but if it converts, then hey, there you go. And ideally, you're going to have a lower pay point. But when I look at this one, engagement, I'm going TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. That's where I want to be for full brand place. So organic, especially because it's engagement. Organic, this is your play here. Right. All right, let's move it along. All right, next up we got, this is again from Social Media Marketing World. Which platform increases your exposure the most? Yeah. Making an appearance at #1, Instagram, followed by YouTube, followed by TikTok. Boom. This is ironic because this is basically saying what we just talked about in the previous slide, but this is the Social Media Marketing World data. Any reactions to this one at all?
I mean, I think that what shocked me on this one is the perception that Instagram is so strong. I was actually looking for more overlap between Instagram and Facebook as far as posting behavior and engagement, just because the two now are so easy to cross promote, like they're almost kind of seen as one thing. If you're going to post on Instagram, post on Facebook, kind of, the whole meta thing. So I actually thought there would be more overlap. So what shocked me here was really how much better Instagram performed than Facebook in the perception of the people who were surveyed.
All right. And then moving fast, because we promised you 15.5. These are our takeaways, and we're actually at a time in 5 seconds. So talk fast. Teresa, what are your key takeaways?
Key takeaway is where usage is around 1% for TikTok and YouTube, but for engagement, YouTube is number one, YouTube is number 4, TikTok is number 1, YouTube is number 4. Why the disconnect? I think that some of this disconnect is the perceived quality that you think, oh, if I'm going to post on TikTok or YouTube, it has to be like top tier, highly produced content. And I think that's my takeaway is that does not have to be the case. Some of the most viral videos are somebody's phone in their front seat of their car. So that was my executive takeaway idea there.
So my takeaway in this one, not on the slides, but I'm inspired by what the questions I'm getting in. I'm inspired by what Teresa's saying is this. I'm going to react fast on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram, especially Reels, of course, for any topical items that I want to do newsjacking on, that I want to spark conversation and spark engagement. So organic social, huge there, low cost of entry. Plus, you want to use content that is authentic. So like we're doing right now with stuff like this, right? Yeah. So it's not heavily produced, it's not polished, no stock footage. It's just raw. Maybe it's a walk and talk, whatever it might be. That's the place to go to be reacting to what's going on in the moment. Whereas a long-term play to drive leads and drive awareness, it's going to be, of course, Facebook if you're B2C, and it's going to be LinkedIn if you're B2B, despite what the data says. So that's the thing. Any other comments? Any other questions? I'm seeing Neil saying, thank you for the executive takeaway. I was wondering about that one, Neil. You're a rock star, not a problem. Do you guys agree? Do you disagree? Do you have a different takeaway? Next thing, what do we want to do for next month, Teresa? I think we should maybe do some trending, maybe quarter over quarter. We can do an we can do Q1, Q2 data, and we can prognosticate for Q3.
Right, we can even go back. I think we could compare last year to this year too, if we wanted to, and then and compare by quarter as well. I
agree. By the way, I just want to give a big shout out to Aaron. Aaron knew that the term newsjacking was David Meerman Scott, not my term, obviously. Big shout out, much respect, Aaron. Way to go, buddy. If you folks haven't read David Meerman Scott, he's one of those legendary ones you have to read, along with a handful of other great people in the marketing game. Okay. I'm showing that we have 2.5 minutes left if we want to keep on talking or answering questions. Aaron is saying, absolutely, give us trending. Aaron's going to get the award for the most comments in today's stuff. And I love, we got a great comment here from the LinkedIn. Reels greatly help with the algorithm on Instagram, plus including topics on every content that's shared on Instagram. So again, and you're seeing changes take place on Instagram rapidly, the ability to schedule, push Reels out there and everything else. So that's fantastic. You're seeing the video metrics on Instagram change around Reels versus stories and everything else. So lots of changes going on there. And of course, if you were listening to last week, you would have saw that we talked a little bit about, this Skunkworks project that Meta has on the go. I think it's called Project 92. Don't quote me on that one. Which is about a Twitter competitor. So that could be another chance for opportunities to go get in on the ground floor, kind of like TikTok and YouTube. So any other comments and opinions? Teresa, what do you think?
Yeah, I love the idea of jumping in, that there's still an opportunity that people aren't there. Your competitors aren't already there, so you can still get ahead. There are some great things about video, and there's some great ways to do video fast, rapidly, and then double down on what works. So, you have the ability to do videos that don't require a lot of front end work, but allow you to produce 10 quickly. And then you can see which 2 were the best performing and then double down on that content. So this is a great way to get exposure out, but also to test ideas and campaigns.
All right. Now, what I want to do here is we're in our last minute. So a couple call to actions for everybody here. You may not know this, but I have some exciting news for you. I teased this last week. Let me throw this up here. We have a private Slack channel where all the topics we talk about in all of our 15 fives, you can comment on, but you can also just go and hang out with other people, other marketers, and just say, hey, I have this problem. What do you think? This is up and coming. It's new. It's a little quiet right now. We need your voices. If you want to join, this is bit.ly/15-5- Agora Talks. That goes right within your own Slack workspace. You're not getting a brand new workspace.
Right.
This one channel appears in your preferred workspace. You never, ever miss a comment. There's that. Next thing I'll also say to you is this. If you like the Agorapulse, you want to get all these stats, you want to get these reports, you want to use it to test and experiment, check it out in action, bit.ly/AP2023 demo. Do that. Of course, we have free trials. Check that out. Finally, what I'll mention to you is we have a phenomenal community that, while Agorapulse owns it, we stay out of it. It is independent, it's nonpartisan, no matter what platform or tech stack you use. Check out the social media pulse. Check out bit.ly/SMP webinar 23. And finally, of course, I would be remiss if I did not say to you that what you really, really, really need to do, if you haven't done it yet, is go join, go follow our YouTube channel. So hit the bell, subscribe, all those things that those YouTube creators do. With that, my friends, my name is Daryl, and I am out of here. Big shout out to my good friend Teresa. We're going to get her back here next week. In the meantime, folks, you guys take care. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.